Hi, I'm Shannon Motter. I'm the Director of Libraries for Northern Pioneer College. And we've had some talk lately about Google Sites. And so we use Google Sites for our Innovation Division newsletter. And so I was going to do some basic tips on adding to that. So I'm going to use our actual site to talk about this today. So this is my enlightening lecture, and it's 20 minutes or less. So we'll probably be together just for a few minutes, and I'll walk you through the basics of using the site. So this is our about page for the Innovation Division. We have a website that is separate than this. This is just a page that we use for the actual newsletter. At the top, we have our different links. So I'm going to go in to my pages and click on newsletters. This is the date. So I have them broken down by year so we can have more than one year. And library assistants, let me see. So I'm creating a template page for them to use. It's time for my lightning lecture. So when you add materials to these, let's go to April. Our upcoming newsletter is going to be on the 1st. On this page, the way that I operate it is I have a description of the newsletter with links to the homepage of the website. Then I have the dean's message, and our dean actually comes in and puts his own information here. He creates a subpage each month. So if we look, he hasn't created his yet, but it'll be listed here under April. He'll go in, and what he's going to do is he's going to click the 3 little dots, and then he's going to add a subpage. You can also duplicate this page, which is what I want to talk about today. So I can just duplicate April's to make May's. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit duplicate page. I don't want to say copy of April. I want it to be May. So I have May. So now it's the same one, and all I have to do is change the date. I will have to go through and delete out any materials that I don't want the next time. Now, there are some things that we want to carry over from month to month. Now, we will be over for May, so we can just hit the little garbage can. It goes away. You can delete individual things on here as well. So, she doesn't need that one. That happens April 9th, so she's not going to want that there for May. So let's go ahead and delete that. And then we can take these out. Now, if I want to say change the newsletter link, let me see here. So I have the library's newsletter, and so this is a different Google site. We use one for the library, one for the division. I'm going to go to the May library newsletter. You do need to have it published in order for you to get the link, but I can click up here on the link once May is published. This is going to actually go to the generic site. We'll copy it just for fun, but you want to make sure you do publish it before you connect it. It has to be a live site. Wait, I'm the wrong one. So I'm going to go to the libraries. You can double click on the link there, and I'll put May, and then I'll put that link there. Now, again, I'll have to fix this once I update that page. If it is a link within the, if it's a link that's within this site, it can't be a different site outside. So this one is actually a link inside. So if you look over here, it's listed on the right-hand side down here, disability law. But if I click on this, it'll show up, and you can scroll down through these to pick the correct one. So that's how that is listed there. Now, what we're going to do is I have that page open on a different tab right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. So what she's done is she sent me in a Word document, and I can go through and just copy and paste this out. What she wants to do is she wants to have the headings, and this is 3 pages. So she wants section 501 to be a heading. for example. So I can make that a different heading. You have to decide beforehand how you want to organize this. So I'm going to take the different sections she has, and I'm going to make on that page, I'm going to use collapsible text. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this one here. And I'm going to go over to my page, and as a placeholder, I just typed in some random letters so I could remember to go back in and put information there. So this is the disability laws. You're going to want to highlight that, and you want it to be a title or a heading. I'm going to pick heading. Make sure you're consistent with your font and your size. And then below that, you can add more information. So what we'll do is we'll go back to that page, and we can copy this and paste it. Now, that image is going to give us some problems, I think. So let's just do this part first. So I can paste that in there. I'm going to go back in and make sure that it's the right font. So this is now Times Roman numeral. We're using Open Sans. So when we're done, we'll go ahead and adjust that back. You want to have a good font for this. Pick the size that looks appropriate. 13 or 14 is what I've been using. And remember that if somebody's looking at this like on a mobile device, it's going to look different than if they're looking on a desktop. The way that websites we typically do is we do percentages, not necessarily a font size, because it allows that to be made bigger or smaller. For example, myself, I have trouble reading the screen, especially without my contacts, but with my contacts too. But without my contacts, I can't read. I would have trouble reading this word disability law without my contacts. So I do tend to enlarge the screen. I do with it control plus sign to make it larger on a Mac. So it's command plus. So I'm going to add that in there. Now, it disappears because it's collapsible text. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. This button here is our show me what it looks like tab, and there it is. So I obviously want to put the rest of the material into there, and I'm going to want to adjust the font and stuff. To exit out of the view tab, you're going to click the X. You can also look at the different versions. This is what it looks like on a mobile device, a tablet, and then a desktop. So you want to do that periodically as you're making the page. If you want to upload an image, you can do that as well. So you're going to go to Insert, and you can click on Image and then Upload. Now, her image, let's just upload any image. I'm going to go to my recents. I'm sure that I have an image. I have a small child that I can put in there. And there's a little girl that I know. So I'm obviously not going to leave that there, but so see, adding an image is really, really easy as well. And if I say, oh, I don't like that, I can click this garbage can. If I'm like, oh, that's way too little, I want to make it really big, but then what happens? Oh, it messes up the page. You can click this one here, and it's gonna make it fit the size. So like when you grab that corner and you pull it to make it bigger or smaller, it can mess up which part of the image is being shown. And so you click that and it can fix it. You can also insert a link. You can crop it, and then you can replace it, add alt text, which you're going to want to do. So we'll add alt text and we'll just say girl. If it's just decorative, you can click decorative. That way the screen readers know that it's not an important part of the page. I'm going to go ahead and delete that out because I don't really want that on that page. You can add other things in here as well. So here's that collapsible text. So the next one, I'm going to do collapsible text again. I'll come in and add this part that I skipped in a little bit. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that into there. But again, I want to select it all and I want to make that a heading. And so then I can put the rest of that text that's there. So here's that. And I'm going to add that website as a button. So I'm putting that in there. So here we go. All right. Again, I have to come back in. So I'm going to select all again. I am using Open Sans because that's what the site that I picked uses. So I just stick with that. I want it to be a little bit bigger. 13 or 14 is what I prefer. Um, Depending on what your audience is, you might want to do larger, but you don't want to make it so large because again, they can enlarge the screen if they have trouble reading it. So this is going to look like this. It's going to have the headings. They're going to be able to click on this. So go ahead and we'll do that view again. So you can see how that's working. This way you can hide the text. That's really nice. I'm clicking the X to leave that. Now, like I said, I want to do a button. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on button. You want to be, if you want to put it in a place on the page, you want to be touching, you want to click on, so basically it's like having your cursor there, wherever you want to do right before it. If you're not highlighted on something, it'll put it at the bottom of the page. So the button's name, I'm going to go back and I'll probably put okay, we'll use that as the title. I'm trying to think of what she wants as a title. There's our title. If I right click that, I think that is a link. Well, it's not, but let's just, for whatever reason it's not working. I'm gonna look that up and see if I can, I'll double check with her to make sure this is the right one. So I'm going to copy that out of the URL at the top of the page. And then we go back and we type that into the link. And so, oh, it's not in the right place. I can grab a hold of that and I can bring it down here. And I can put it below, or I can actually attach it to that box. So since it's with it, I can want to do that. And I like to make it obviously wide. So you can attach these to different pages. Let me show you what I mean by that on this page, which is already done. If you look at this tab, this button here is attached to this box. The place where I have problems most often is it'll accidentally attach something together that I don't want attached. And so you're going to go up and hit the undo button if you ever have that happen to you. So that's the basics of how to use these pages. You can, this one, if you look here, is hidden. And that's hidden because we're not using that page. So we do sometimes use the library assistance page when we're advertising. So we don't want to delete it. We just want to hide it. And then I can actually link to it on this page. And so it's not showing up on the navigation, but it's there. The way that I do it, like I said, I duplicate the page every month. I don't redo the whole thing because there's some formatting there that I want to have there. I do try to shake it up for interest sake, because there's different departments going on, divisions newsletter. And so I'll move these boxes around so that early college comes first sometimes and ITCS comes first sometimes. So there's a lot that you can do with these. You can change the themes if you want. We'll just look at that. You just pick it and you can just change it. You can insert, you can change different layouts. And I do sometimes use the layouts for some of these boxes, or you can use these down here. So you can do an image carousel, just upload your image to that and it's gonna show them. We do the buttons. I use a divider. If you notice right here, this little yellow line is a divider and I put them between all the different department pages. It easily accesses YouTube videos. You can add your calendar, your map, different documents, slides, sheets, forms, charts, and so forth. So there's a lot of different possibilities. Lots of different possibilities there that you can look at. And then again, you use your pages to navigate. If you want to share it with people, you're going to click on the share with others. And so that's who's shared. Links, you can give specific kinds of links to it. There are settings you can change. And when I first created this, I did do the settings. and I can go back to versions history. If I mess up, I can go back, and that's helpful. And I can make a copy of the whole thing if I wanted to. Maybe I wanted to use this newsletter as a template for my library newsletter, or maybe one of the departments says, you know what, I really want to have my own newsletter as well, and they could just make a copy of this one, and then you'd have the same format, the same colors. I did go in and add that, make the colors right for our college. So there's lots of things that you can do with this. It's pretty easy to use. Again, the thing I most struggle with is sometimes I'll attach things together accidentally, and I just undo that here. If you have any questions, just let me know, and thanks for coming in today.